All right, it's January 2018, but what's the state of this place? So every year the president does a State of the Union address, so I thought it might be a fitting thing to do in January to do a State of the Farm address. So what's going on around here? What's been working? What's been failing? What is the state of the farm? Now it is extremely cold. This week and this past couple weeks has been some of the coldest temperatures on record here in Michigan. Last night it was negative 18 degrees with wind chill. Tonight it's going to be about the same. Right now it is 0 degrees outside and windy, so wind chills again are down to negative 16 or so. So very cold, and that's been my biggest struggle. So let's go in the barn and check out what's going on. Well, we got some new chickens. That's a new addition here. We got a couple roosters. This is one of our old roosters here. And the neighbors had moved into their house next door, and we're actually friends of ours. They had chickens at their old house, and they needed a place to put them. They don't have a coop yet, so they have kind of given them over to us to care for and hopefully benefit from a few eggs. The barn has been working well. We got the new door on the back there, and it's been keeping warmer in here. It's not windy. There's no snow and rain and everything inside. I got the new ridge vent on the top there. I did that this summer, so everything's been nice and dry in here. Ducks have been in here hiding out because it's so cold. This is what we have for hay that's left over, and a kayak from sledding with kayaks. If you haven't seen that video, that was a lot of fun. But we have enough hay, I think, to make it through the rest of the year. So it's January 5th, I think, today. We've got some of this greener fourth cutting stuff that the bunnies have been eating, and then the rest of this is for the goats and the pigs. So every day I get to come out here and break ice out of all the buckets, all the water buckets. So this is the carnage from that. I've broken metal buckets. These things I was kicking ice out of, and the seams broke. This is what I've been using to break ice out of everything. But problem with that is that I accidentally broke holes in some of the containers we were using. The goats have a cooler in their pen. That's what we've been using for water for them. That actually worked pretty good. They've been doing all right. All the girls are in here still, the 5 of them. We'll be breeding them very soon, probably in the next month. We'll go ahead and put those with the males, and we'll start getting them ready to be bred out. So we'll have lots of babies come spring and summer. Their little pen here has been working pretty good. Here's Martha. This is what the pigs do in the cold. Give them lots of straw, they nest up, stay warm. This is out of the wind and everything. They've been doing pretty good, but Martha, I don't think she's pregnant. She is not pregnant. So far there's been no signs of babies, and she's not gotten any bigger. So I think we do not have a pregnant pig. We're gonna be moving her back in with the male, Mr. George, here in the next week, so we'll try again. The best buckets that I have found, this is Martha's water bucket. Stay in there, Martha. Stay in. Rubber buckets, because so we can gently coax the ice out, right? This is pretty much the daily routine. But luckily, we've got our frost-free spigot out here, which has been working perfectly. That hasn't frozen. There you go. Oh, the chicken coop, what a mess. Needs to be cleaned out, but it's all frozen, so I have to wait till some things thaw out here so I can get this coop cleaned up. But their water has been kind of a mess. I'll talk about the watering system here in a minute. We've got about 30 chickens now with the addition of a few extras here. Egg collection has been pretty much a disaster. They've been laying very, very few and far between, and the eggs that we do get it's been so cold that by the time we get out here and collect them, they're usually frozen solids. Oh, the ducks. What is the point of these little guys? They were given to us last year. Somebody got them and didn't want them, and so we took them, and yeah, they're fun to have around, free ranging. They actually don't eat really much. We don't feed them much all summer. They free range pretty much all around the house and scavenge for all their food, and they did really well. So we do get some duck eggs from time to time. That's, I guess, the use of them. Here's George. George's been doing pretty good. This is probably the most exposed little pen that we have. This gets a lot of wind in that in here, but he's been doing good. He nests up in the straw and everything. We give him big piles of straw, and he nests up in here even when it's negative 18 degrees. He stays plenty warm. As long as we can keep water flowing to these guys, they do all right. Little cat's down here. This cat, you can see her. You can barely see her down below there, staying warm underneath the table. But this cat we found when we moved in here, and it took us about a year for her to finally come to us and let us pet her. This is the watering system that we put in. I put in last year. Frozen, completely solid. This barrel is filled with water, frozen solid, even popped up the bottom. So this is not functioning right now. If you haven't seen the videos for this, this basically circulated water to all the stalls, and I had a heater in here that kept it from freezing. The pump burned up on this middle of the winter last year, and I had a cheap old pump that I threw in there, which then froze the pipes, and of course they broke. I have it all repaired, but I never had the funds to invest in a new circulating pump for it. A good one's about $100, and I just had other priorities. So I chose to abandon this system this year in hopes that we'll go ahead and get it going for next year. System worked really well with the pigs in here last year. They drink off these, and then the chickens in the other stall, and the water just circulates through all the pipes, and as long as the water keeps moving and we have a little heat on it, it doesn't freeze. It actually worked really well. So the starts of a greenhouse. It's a little bit cold to be working with plastic piping out here, so I'm gonna wait till we get a warm week. I think next week it's supposed to warm up in the 40s here a few days, so we'll get out and get that put together when it's a little warmer outside. These guys stay nice and warm in here. This coop is insulated and small enough, so for the 7 birds that are in here, it's plenty warm. This is their water dish. It's a heated water dish, but it's so cold that it doesn't even keep up. So I gotta get them water every day in little buckets, and that's been a nightmare too. What hasn't been working? Well, unfortunately, the draft motor on the wood burner went out 2 days ago, and it's this little motor right here that gives a draft to the fire. You can hear it buzzing in there. So this has stopped working. Of course, the coldest 2 days of the year. Every few hours I come out here and I open the ash pan a little bit, get a gap in there, and the air flows up through the ash pan into the bottom of the fire, and gives draft to it, and it'll heat this thing up and get it up to about 180 degrees, and then I'll come out and close that and close the vent off, and I had to do that quite a few times a day. Just one more thing to fix. This little backup generator, we haven't had to use this since we moved in. It's nice to have, but unfortunately battery went bad on it, so I've got a battery tender on it now, which I have to keep running all the time in order for this to function. Last night was so cold, we covered up the bunnies with these blankets to try to keep them out of the wind and that, and seemed to work pretty good. So they're all nice and warm in there. It's this cold out, you got to bring these things in and heat them up every couple hours. So it's been quite a job keeping this stuff thawed out. New gutters on the house, working great, except they're frozen solid, so all the water just runs over the edge anyway. Somebody commented on our truck out here. Oh, look at that expensive Suburban they have. Man, those are $50,000 new. Well, that may have been the case. We bought this one used though. It's 7 years old, so we didn't pay quite that much for it. We buy all our vehicles used, and the only downside to that is, well, it's broken right now. It's a problem with the intake, I believe, that I'll have to get working on fixing that here pretty soon. So it'll probably be a video on that coming out. The stinky boy goats over here. These are the our entertainment when we come out to the front. There's a Christmas tree. Look at what they did to that thing. They love Christmas trees. Don't throw your Christmas trees away. Go give them to a goat farmer, somebody who has goats near you. These are all natural Christmas trees. They're not sprayed with anything. So we feed them to the goats. They love them. They eat every bit of the bark and needles off these things. Great vitamins for them. These guys have been keeping warm in their little shed out there. Right now I don't have a hay feeder for them. We got to work on building one of those. Actually have a video planned for that. And the water situation. Water for animals in the winter is a mess. Frozen solid. So we got to chisel out the ice and try to fill it up again. Well, we know what happened to that. If you haven't seen that video, check it out, but I'll spoil it for you. It's full of hornets. The bees didn't make it. The hornets did. So we need to get in here. Maybe now's a good time to get in this thing and tear that hornet's nest out. It's too cold for them to do anything now. So, well, there you have it. The state of the SSL family farm. It's been a challenging couple weeks. I have burned through so much wood on that wood burner, and now it's not even working. So always challenges, always things to fix. Dishwasher broke the other day, had to fix that. Just constantly things breaking, things being fixed, and that's just life out here. So happy to do it, and excited about the spring. I can't wait for warm weather. This is awful cold out here. But greenhouse is coming up soon. Maple syrup is coming up soon. Breeding animals is coming up soon. We're gonna have lots of babies coming. We'll have baby chickens here pretty soon. We're gonna order our bees. We're gonna be getting lots of fruit trees to plant this year. So we got just a lot of things. The springtime is just an explosion of work and things coming up. And so a lot of things are gonna get fixed and cleaned. The farm is a mess. Wintertime is just it's a tough time to raise animals here up in the north. And taking care of your family, keeping things warm, it's a challenge. Wintertime is no joke. So a wood stack and wood pile is so far holding up. Even though we've burned through so much wood so far this year, I still have what I think is enough to get me through at least February, and still have some left over for boiling sap. And I may have to do some scavenging to get us through into April, and then heat will be shutting down after that. So thanks for checking out the state of the farm address this year, the state of the farm tour, I should call it. A lot of challenges, but a lot of exciting things coming up, and so we're just moving forward here. Every day, take one day at a time, get things done, fix things up, move on to the next thing. So always a lot of fun. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.